Let's talk about this water heater for a second. This water heater is about 11 years old, which is not done for a water heater, and it is working fine. However, there are definitely some issues, and whenever one is this age, you definitely want to start thinking about replacing it not too far into the future. But let's talk about the problems. This flue here, we want to see this mechanically attached to the draft hood. This roof is pretty old on this property. That could get replaced soon. This flue could get jostled and this could come apart. And we don't want that to happen, not especially out here in the garage. At these fittings right here, you can see this corrosion. This can eventually cause leaks. Moving on, we have the temperature and pressure relief line. This is a gravity fed line and it should go down, but this one goes back up and outside. Not a huge concern being out here in the garage, but we do not have a pan underneath this unit, and we really would like to see that in case water were to ever come out of this, that it be caught in that pan and sent outside as well. We do not have a sediment trap in this gas line. Although this was installed in 2013, all of this stuff should have been done by then. And also, one more thing, let's go outside. We are terminating through a bonnet vent. This is an old style of vent. It can be subject to backdrafting, and we really need to get that replaced with a newer style of vent. One kind of like this one, the one that the furnace is going through. Something kind of like that. That's what we need. There's something over here that I see an awful lot in new construction houses, and I don't get why it gets to this point of a final inspection, and nobody's talked about this. Take a look at it. You can see we have a substantial amount of daylight coming through the bottom of the front door. So, what kind of problem is this going to pose? Thanks for asking. This is going to pose all kinds of problems because moisture can get in very easily now. Air can get in, air can get out, and bugs can get in. This isn't a good situation. This needs to be taken care of, and honestly, it seems like a really popular thing to find on new construction these days. I do not think it should take a home inspector to point this out. I think this should be taken care of well before I arrive. I'm going to walk around this house and do my full inspection. I will probably find more things. This alone probably justifies my existence, but I'm sure I will find a lot of other things that need to be buttoned up and can be done a whole lot better on this house. Get your new construction home inspected. I'm at a pre-drywall inspection and all kinds of nonsense going on. I'm going to try to keep the builder's name from showing up here, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that because they installed a product wrong, and because the label is on the inside, their logo is going to be all throughout my video. Yeah, if it's installed properly, this product, the ink is facing outward. That's the first rule in the instruction manual for this. So that's the first thing that's wrong. And furthermore, we didn't bother to flash anything. Look at this. You can just see daylight coming through. And the siding is already up out there too. And so they're not going to do it. There's another area. Check it out. Look at all that. Just daylight coming through there. Nothing flashed at all. Let me show you the outside real quick. This is the area that we were just looking at. And you can see they already have the siding up, but they didn't bother flashing this penetration, these penetrations, or any of the other wall penetrations at all. You think that's flashed properly? Yeah, I don't think so. It's not flashed at all, no. Here's your air supply ducts for your laundry room. And as you can see, look at how it just goes and kinks right back the other direction. We're never gonna move any air through that thing at all. And you might be thinking to yourself, Matt, what do I care if I have air in my laundry room? Well, if you don't have it, that's how you create mold. You want mold? You can see they put these nail shields up to protect these wires because they were too close to the edge of the framing. However, they missed a whole bunch of them, so check this out. Now, a nail shield is required when the wire is less than 1 1/4 inches from the face of the framing. Does that look like 1 1/4 inches to you? It's also supposed to be measured from the center of the hull. So yeah, we got about maybe a 1/2 inch. Then there's this one. Yeah, that's not gonna work either. Same thing everywhere. It's not supposed to do that. Got an active water leak right here coming from somewhere up there. The roof is finished, so obviously something's wrong. Here's a better look at that roof leak. You can see the water just coming in. It's coming in from some penetration. This window here is leaking. It's not open or anything. We have all kinds of water sitting here, probably because it's not flashed properly. Yep, I'm frustrated. Better stop making this video. All right, you guys, I'm on a roof that's near the end of its life. Probably time to start considering replacement. I'm going to show you why. I've also got a guy working a shovel across the concrete over here, so it's going to be a little loud. I'll do some voiceover. Check it out. Okay, so first we have this ridge cap shingle, which obviously needs to get replaced. But if you take a look at the shingles here and you see these shiny edges, that is a fiberglass coming through, and it's an indication that we have some pretty bad granular loss, also an indication of an older roof. Moving on, we see a bunch of areas where nails are pushing their way through the shingle. This is happening here, but we also have another one right here. Then I found another one over here, but you can also take a look at these hip cap shingles and really get a look at that granular loss. More nails pushing through and exposed nails. This is just kind of going on all over the place. So here's another one right here poking right through. On the topic of nails, these were exposed intentionally, but it looks like they were never caulked over, and that definitely needs to happen. Back on the back side of the property, we have some flashing here, and it's lifted up. This can be an entry point for wind-driven rain. Definitely needs to get put back in place. So yeah, I'm going to notate all this stuff, but ultimately it's probably best to have a roofer come out here and look at this roof, see what they can do to possibly limp it along, and definitely give you a quote for replacement because you're not that far off. It's not that this roof is completely done for right now in this condition. I mean, it's definitely problematic. I haven't looked on the inside to see if we can locate any leaks, but this is the kind of thing you want to get in front of before it starts causing destruction to your property. I'm on a completed new construction house. Look at what I'm finding. You can see here we have a 15 and a 30 amp breaker here, both running with the AC condensers, and we have some ridiculously oversized conductors. And they've cut strands and split strands to make them fit because those breakers are not designed for such a large wire. This is extremely unprofessional. Taking a look at the data plates, you can see that we've actually exceeded our minimum ampacity, and you can go larger, that's fine. But there is a limit to how large you should go, and these are ridiculously oversized. I had somebody comment on my YouTube channel today on another electrical video. This is what they said. This guy seriously acts like once a panel's installed, nobody's ever come and done work on it. Okay, give me a show of hands of how many people think that somebody's coming through here to rerun wire to these breakers. Anybody? Why is there nobody's hands? Why is nobody's hand raised? That's because it ain't happening. I mean, maybe it might now, hopefully. Let me show you something this builder's doing. It's something good, and I've never seen it before. I recommend this all the time, but what we have here, we have a tankless water heater in the garage, and we have a pan under it. Why do we have a pan under it? Because as you can see, this little step up right here is the level of the house. This is the garage door. The garage is sloped to go out this way. So if water lands down here, it's going to roll right outside, down the driveway, down the street. But if water lands here, it could very well back up into the house, soak this drywall, whatever flooring's in there, and do whatever damage it wants to do. And so I really love to see a pan underneath these units whenever they're in this area of the garage. And as you can see, they have plumbed a pipe to go outside from the pan. So if water gets in there, it's going to go to the exterior of the property. This is great. I never see this. I've never seen it done. I don't want to say it. God, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. It's supposed to do that. Look at this. That vent stack looks like it has a cap on it. Let's get on the roof. Yep, it definitely has a cap on it. You see these pipes? They serve two functions: to let sewer gases escape and to let air into the drainage system so things drain out properly. This one's not going to function properly in this shape. Supposedly this house had an inspection before they bought it. And like I said, you could see it from the ground level, so I don't know why anybody that was involved in building this house couldn't just look up here and see it, but whatever, I found it today. I think I just found my first termite infestation of the season. Check it out. There they are. There's those termites, you see them? Focus. The termite. Not very active, are you? Open a little bit more. There you go. There they are. Those are just the ones I found so far, but with this kind of stuff going on, all of this high vegetation like this old tree stump right here real close to the house, and over here we got high soil all around over here and rotted wood everywhere. There's definitely gonna be more. Even if I can't find them, there's gonna be more around here somewhere. I can't find any in this garage, but it's definitely not their first go at this place because I did find evidence they were here before. Check it out. Here's an old termite mud tube right here. I busted it open, but I couldn't find anything in it. A little bit more of that going on right here. And then if you notice, we got some fresh studs in here, there and there. Take a look over here. We got termite damage right there. Look at the bottom of it, just shredded up from termites. New construction home inspection today. We're finding some big problems, some small problems. Come check some of them out. One of the small problems, this front door here, doesn't really shut very good. It gets caught up and jammed up in a couple of different areas, and so that needs to be corrected. The garage entry door here is missing weather stripping. They probably plan to come and put that up later, but also the lock's not working. This is a little push lock here, but it does not work. I got a little saying for stuff like this. It's not supposed to do that. Here in this bedroom, we got another door that sticks up here. Now I've had the AC running for about 20 or 30 minutes. You can see the condenser's running. It's also vibrating excessively and it's making this loud noise. Not a fan of that at all. But you can see when I take some temperatures at the supply registers, we've got no cooled air coming out. And I've had this thing going for a little while at about 65 degrees. You can take a look at the thermostat and see how I've got it set. While we're talking about the condenser, the disconnect here, we've got no dead front cover. I showed up to do an 11-month warranty inspection today. This house has 2 HVAC systems, one upstairs, one downstairs. The downstairs is heating just fine, but the upstairs I couldn't get to create heat. And so I came up here and looked at the unit and the gas valve is off. It's kind of odd for a house that's been here for 11 months. So I asked the homeowner if they knew about it, and they didn't. I think it's possible that this has never been turned on and that they've just been getting heat from downstairs. Again, we're in Texas, so it oftentimes doesn't get that cold. So they've just been getting heat rising up to the top level of the house, and they never realized that their furnace wasn't working. But I found something else. My intention was to turn this on and check it out to make sure that it worked properly. However, I thought I would just check this out before I did. And when I checked it out, I realized that this flex line right here is completely loose. So that should not be turned on because that will obviously leak a lot of gas. Am I surprised to find this? Yes. Yes and no. I'm only surprised because obviously the heaters never worked up here and they didn't know it. But I'm glad to find it today because one of these days they're going to need heat up here. And when they do, this isn't going to work. Although I guess it will now.